What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Thank you for downloading, viewing the #1 ranked show. And today, I want to talk about quarterbacks, in particular quarterback derbies. I want to drop some lists on you, including my top 5 breakout candidates for 2021 and your takes in our We Out Ya about, well, a tweet that I put out before the world totally changed, in which I said Nebraska and Arkansas would have more fun in the Big 12. And you know what? That part has not changed, and neither, I'm sure, have your opinions. But first, so WVLT, a station in Knoxville, Tennessee, published a story I found appalling. Quote, nearly 40% of Americans think they are fit enough to be an Olympic athlete, according to a new study. One poll, that is the name of the firm that does the polling, surveyed 1,000 U.S. residents to see if they believed they had what it takes to compete in the Olympics. 2 in 5 people thought they could keep up. According to the survey, 40% think they're fit enough to compete in at least one summer or winter Olympic sport today. Of those, 60% were women and 70% were under the age of 35. The most common sports respondents said they could compete in were basketball, soccer, and swimming. Only people who don't work out regularly believe they could be Olympians, okay? The hubris required when watching someone who is in the top 1% of their thing be casual in that thing is how we end up with such a large percentage, 40% of people with the audacity to suggest they could do the same. All you have to do is swim a lap to know you're not going to make an Olympic swimming team. But when you watch Katie Ledecky lap the field in a mile swim, you get dumb enough to say, I can do that. No, fool, you can't. Appreciate that she is better at her job than most are at theirs. The point I'm making here is that being an Olympian is not about want to. We all want to. Being an Olympian is about innate talent. Most folks ain't got it. If they did, guess what they'd be doing? Exactly. The same rules apply for becoming an Olympian for playing college football, let alone college football on scholarship, let alone FBS college football on scholarship, let alone big time college football on scholarship, let alone big time college football on scholarship to play quarterback. As Meek taught us, it's brackets, bruh. These coaches, they're not checking for you because you are not in that bracket, bruh. Learn life. It's levels to this, young boy. Look, what I'm saying is every player recruited to play Power 5 football is the best player to come out of his neighborhood, out of his district in a generation. These men are not regular. Trevor Knight's mom once told me he was doing backhand stands when he was a toddler. Blake Bell's mama told me she walked around with his birth certificate in her purse because other parents would accuse the boy of being a teenager as a 9-year-old playing Little League. So when we're talking about QB derbies, especially at programs expected to compete for the national title this season, it's important to recognize there isn't a bad option. There's only the best option. For instance, at LSU, Max Johnson, the quarterback who started his first game on the road on a team with a losing record and the son of a Super Bowl winning quarterback, led the Tigers to a swamp stomping of the #7 ranked Florida Gators, who had a Heisman frontrunner at quarterback and 2 pass catchers out in routes who were drafted in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft, including a unanimous All-American at tight end. And Johnson has been named the starter mostly by default. Miles Brennan was in competition with Johnson to start for the Bayou Bengals this season when he suffered an injury. Again, Johnson is not a bad option. At &U, Jimbo Fisher is down to Haynes King and Zach Calzada. During his junior season, King led the Longview Lobos to a 16-0 record that ended with a 6A title. As a senior, he threw for 1,926 yards and 20 passing touchdowns while rushing for 550 yards and 10 scores. He's also a 50-point 400-meter man in high school. He finished his career with the Lobos posting a 37-2 record as a starter. Calzada was an Under Armour All-American at Lanier High in Sugar Hill, Georgia. As a senior, he completed 122 of 240 pass attempts with 14 touchdowns. He ended his prep career completing 238 for 467 for 3,400, 29 yards, 29 touchdowns. The dude is good. Like, that's what I'm getting at. In keeping with this thing, there's not a bad option in College Station. In Ohio State, the quarterback most likely to win the job, or most unlikely to win the job, I should say, Quinn Ewers, is the highest rated signing in Ohio State history. And the other 5-star on the depth chart is likely to begin the season third string. Means Ryan Day is going to choose between Jack Miller III, a man who holds Arizona State records for passing yards, passing touchdowns, and touchdowns in a season, and the 2019 Elite 11 MVP, CJ Stroud. How good is Stroud? In February 2019, he was ranked 860th in the country. By August 20th, he was ranked number 42. And by the way, he was the last quarterback invited to the Elite 11 final. So no matter who the starter turns out to be at Ohio State or Texas A&M, he's one of the best college football players on the planet. That should make it much easier to take when CJ Stroud and Haynes King win those respective jobs as the starting quarterbacks of national title contenders. Hey kinfolk, I appreciate you for watching. Subscribe here and ring the bell so you don't miss the latest upload to the channel. Also, be sure to watch more videos here, like FS1 Studio shows and the best from Fox Sports and Fox Sports Digital.